Namaste, Jai Bharat. The Pahalgaon incident in Kashmir, where Pakistani trained and facilitated terrorists attacked innocent Hindus and killed them after confirming that they are Hindus or non-Muslims. The modus operandi of these terrorists were they go and ask men, they killed only men in front of their wives. The husbands were killed in front of their wives. They were tourists, Hindus, asked them his name, then asked them to recite Kalma from Quran. Where would a Hindu know Kalma? He doesn't even know his own. That's different. And then to confirm, they made the men to undress and took a check whether they are circumcised or not to confirm whether or not he is a Muslim. Then killed these men indiscriminately right in front of their wives or other family members. Only men were killed. Then some women, Hindu women, they asked them, kill us before you kill our husbands. And their terrorists answered, go and talk to your prime minister. That's not how he said, but then this is the meaning of what he said. Then the Pakistani media created a narrative of a Muslim horseman. Horseman means the one who rents his horse and takes tourists to the valleys, etc., making the people sit on the horse. This man will walk on the foot. That kind of facilities are available in many places. Kashmir also, Jammu also, especially when we go to Vaishnav Devi temple, it's a 15 kilometers climb. The horseman comes with us and we sit on the horseback. To climb there and they stretch up and down both. When I went, it was some 600 rupees something for one trip. It's not that cheap also, but then that was convenient for us. Then the Pakistani media created a narrative that there was one Muslim boy who was renting his horse, who was present there. He tried to save the tourists from the Pakistani terrorists and in the process lost his life or something. I said this narrative because that is significant. Let's see what is coming. Deepavali is a Hindu festival celebrated perhaps all over the world. In Sydney, Australia, the Jews were celebrating their Hanukkah festival. Hanukkah is something very close to the Deepavali festival of the Hindus. The Jews Hanukkah, Jewish Hanukkah, and Hindus Deepavali is more or less very related in their festivity appearances. And then you find two. Initially Pakistan was denying that they are Pakistanis. They are Pakistanis. A Pakistani immigrant and his son, the typical Pakistani name Akram. His name is Naveed Akram. This is a typical Pakistani name. He and his father, they immigrated to Australia. And these people were educated in the Pakistani madrasa, religiously educated to conduct jihad for their kind of religion and their faith system, whatever the mullah teaches them. I don't know if that really could be the faith system. That's for the scholars to find out and assess. And these people have killed. 16 is the death toll as I hear now. Injuring quite a few, many. 35 plus, as per the report, keeps coming actually. Just pick up shotguns and fire. From the posture that man, the full video is available in internet. The way these people are standing and firing and the posture he takes, it's very clear that is both people are well trained in such arms handling. I myself used to be in the Air Force. I know what is a weapon training. Of course, what we get may be little much more than what these terrorists get. But they are trained at this use rifles. And the way they stand is very clear. They're trained. Who must have trained them? These people who are visiting Pakistan repeatedly and obtaining training, as I understand, whether one likes it or not. And then the similar narrative, like what you find in Pahalgaon, Pakistani media says that there was a Muslim who saved the Jews. What a story. The same narrative extended to Sydney, Bounty Beach, where they killed. This is what terrorism does. And Australia, after a long time, it's the first time a terrorist attack. There are quite a few Muslims living in Australia migrated. There were trifles and there were differences. There were small problems. But initially, about some 50 years before, Australia wasn't happy to receive Muslim immigrants, as I understand. But then things have changed. And Europe has to face this. Because Europe were great facilitators of the so-called humanism, philanthropy, all those kinds of things. And this is something which they have asked for. We haven't asked for this in Bharat. They have infiltrated into our system and converted our people and estranged few converted Muslims of Bharat. Their ancestors are Hindus, and those who were estranged went and created a Pakistan. And they have lost roots, lost everything, and Pakistan is the world factory of terrorism protection. They are left to their destiny, and their destiny is not very promising, as people know. And the same narrative, a Muslim comes to save, and a Muslim comes to save in Pahalgaon, another Muslim comes to save the Jews in Sydney. This narrative is obviously fake, false, nonetheless they say it. These people are trained in Pakistan. They were taught, they were indoctrinated in Islamic thoughts. The way it had been put into the minds must be obviously manipulated and designed to a definite desiderated end, which was created by a sect of people who would do so. They had been doing so, and Pakistan is a living example, because you catch any Pakistani schoolboy and asks him what he thinks of Bharat, he will outrightly say they are enemy, they are kafirs, they have only one worth, that they should be killed. Simple. This is what they teach the children. And such a society, with such children getting educated, they are growing up to adults, because the whole thing is a kind of repetition and continues to hate people as kafirs, who are identified and established as kafirs by their teachers who teach them. They have this madrasa system. And Jews and Hindus are obvious kafirs and their first enemy in both cases. This should open eyes. And initially Pakistani reaction was that these people are not Pakistani origin. They outrightly said they are Afghanis, but Afghanistan normally don't do such things in somebody else's land. They might be having problems within, but they don't go to somebody, some other place and blow themselves up. That is not very normal. That's not very often. But Afghans don't do such things. They may have their inter-tribal differences, etc. But they, in the Taliban regime also, the first Taliban regime also, they have not gone to, as I understand, somebody's land to become terrorist, create terrorism, but everything is connected to Pakistan. And then many people in Pakistani media say, terrorism is terrorism, why do you implicate Islam? They should know, and they know it. They are not recognizing and admitting it, that it's the kind of Islam taught to them that promotes terrorism. I don't know, but the kind of Islam taught to them, the version which is interpreted by some given radicals, makes people do it. Anyway, it's unfortunate, and Jews are getting killed just for the simple reason they're Jews. Like the Hindus got killed in Pahalgaon just for the simple reason they're Hindus. But ultimately, who gets what remains to be seen. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.